Gargoyles is a short-lived but beloved cartoon that ran from 1994 to 1997. It was dark, it was mature, it was violent, it was awesome.
Don't gush all over us, okay? It's kind of embarrassing.
But here are 5 things you probably didn't know about it. Did you know that the actors that provided the voices for many of the characters on the show was basically a who's who of Star Trek actors? Given that Star Trek The Next Generation actors Jonathan Frakes and Marina Sirtis were already regulars,
You'll forgive me if I just shake your hand.
and that the show creators were legitimately Trekkies, it opened the door for a ton of Star Trek alumni to step through. People like Michael Dorn, aka Lieutenant Worf, Brent Spiner, Avery Brooks, Kate Mulgrew, even Lieutenant Uhura herself, Nichelle Nichols. In fact, before Keith David was cast as the lead Goliath, the producers were considering Patrick Stewart. Did you know the original pitch for this series was as a comedy? It was still supposed to involve stone gargoyles that come to life at night, but instead of being the protectors of humanity who fight against injustice, they were originally conceived as mischievous troublemakers who just drove humans crazy with their antics.
Surely we were sent here for something more important than this.
Fortunately, because of the success of shows like Batman the Animated Series and X-Men, this original concept was abandoned and we got the cool, serious, dark gargoyles that we know and love. Did you know that the 3rd season of the show, which is called Gargoyles: The Goliath Chronicles, is considered by many fans to not really be a true part of the series? It's because in the 3rd season, they basically replaced all of the creative people behind the scenes.
That's showbiz!
And they also took the show from being an afternoon syndicated cartoon and turned it into a Saturday morning cartoon on ABC.
I have a bad feeling about this, as do I.
By doing this, they had to tone it down significantly and play to a much more kid-friendly audience.
The curse of youth.
Ultimately, many fans feel that the show just lost its edge and lost its voice.
Frankly, I'm getting bored.
Did you know that starting in 1997 and going on until about 2009, there was an event every year called the Gathering of the Gargoyles?
Welcome to the 8th annual Gathering of the Gargoyles.
It was essentially a convention where hardcore Gargoyles fans would meet up.
Gargoyles was my childhood.
The show has had a tremendous effect on my life.
It brought us together.
The actors and writers would show up and speak. Attendees would audition to play parts in radio plays, and there was even a masquerade ball where people would dress up as their favorite gargoyles. You know that they've actually announced plans for a brand new live-action Gargoyles reboot series? Not only that, but the people behind it are none other than Conjuring's James Wan and his Annabelle collaborator, Gary Doberman. So, before long, we might be getting a badass new Gargoyles live-action show from exactly the kind of people that should be making it. I'm there.
We're together again.